This is the best James Bond movie.
I'll offer a different opinion.
I'm not the biggest, like, shut up, dude. Let someone else go.
I'm not saying like this movie is objectively bad. I'm saying I was very bored throughout the action scenes of the movie.
Hater.
I care about action scenes where nothing happens and the characters aren't developed. That is a different movie.
You got gaslit into thinking you hated it more than you did.
I kind of agree with Chris a little bit in the way that I just don't think I liked it as much as everybody else.
All right, this week on the Film Friends podcast, I decided to pick Casino Royale, the 2006 Bond reboot with Daniel Craig. This is the best James Bond movie, like even counting all of the ones. I haven't seen all of them, but like
all the ones I haven't seen.
I've seen all the Sean Connery ones, and this is definitely the best one. Like Sean Connery got some good ones, and then there are some like okay ones in the middle there, but this like really was kind of like a big reboot for the franchise, and it kind of took it in a more modern, serious direction, whereas James Bond was kind of like silly and stupid. I'm sure everybody's seen like weird clips of like the old goofy ass effects where they're like not even fucking trying. But this movie is phenomenal. It's probably my favorite action movie. I was thinking about that when I was watching it, of if there's an action movie I enjoy more than this, and I think this is number one for me. This was a top 5 video for me also, by the way, so a bit biased. I will pass it along to whoever else wants to give some thoughts.
I don't remember a lot of the Bond movies. I'm sure I've watched a lot of them when I was younger, but they just like they were never my favorites. They don't stick with me as much. But rewatching this movie is fucking really good. Like I honestly thought it was gonna just be like kind of a cool, corny action movie. I mean, it's still corny at times. Like you said, it's more serious, but it's still there. Like there's like the goofy jokes and shit like that, and like when he just rams the car into the other cars in the parking lot. I thought that one was funny.
It's still a Bond movie.
Yeah. It's cheesy, but like in its own way, you know. And dude, I forgot how good the music is. Dude, the opening to this movie is badass. Like, I'm not just the actual scene. Like, the opening cinematic too is like the credits is awesome.
Dude, Chris Cornell.
This movie is like way more beautiful than I remembered. Like, I was really blown away by how much better of an actual movie this was than and on top of being like a great action movie. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was pretty blown away because I forgot.
Yeah,
this is why this franchise really did come back from this.
I guess I'll bounce off that because like I also really enjoyed this movie like a lot. Like there like I'll get to like the minor issues that I have with it, but like overall like it is like Nate said, like a really like well made movie. Like it's actually got like really interesting like shot compositions, and like there's lots of like Dutch angles and like low angles. Like it actually like
just in the beginning again, yeah.
They do it
right away.
It looks like an actual movie. Like there are scenes with like hundreds of people all in the background, and they're not just like plugins. Like they're actual just people.
They're not NPCs. Yeah,
yeah. It feels like a real movie, and I'm like, if it's weird that like a movie from 2006 can feel so long ago like that, like something that just doesn't happen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I did really enjoy this movie.
I'll offer a different opinion. I don't know. I've said it before that like
he's a hating
I'm not the biggest
like shut up, dude. Let someone else go.
I've said it before on this podcast that I'm not like the biggest action guy. I get bored if an action scene goes on too long, and I'm just like I tend to zone out and just wait for the next scene with actual dialogue. And there was a lot of that in this. With that said, though, I did really like the whole poker scenario.
I mean that's like the best part of the movie.
I like James Bond's relationship.
I said that about every part.
Yeah, yeah. I like James Bond's relationship with the girl. I forget what her name is.
I don't remember any
Vesper.
names.
Vesper. I thought that was interesting, but overall, like I don't know. I felt like I was more bored than I spend more time being bored than not being bored watching Casino Royale.
Damn, dude.
See, I feel like the action, especially in 2006, like it's cool, like it's new and like it done it so interestingly enough that it's like it keeps my attention. Like I would agree. I'm not the big like super drawn out action scenes. I don't love that either. But I feel like this movie did that pretty well. You know,
Like
like
the
I'm.
actual chase pretty well.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
don't
it
feel
was-
like I mean, there might have been a few parts I was like, this is going on for a while, but I definitely wasn't like upset about
The
it.
the first action scene is like just like the premise of it is just insane. Because like one of the things
Which
like,
one, the parkour one or the one in
the
hotel?
parkour one.
Yeah, the parkour, dude. That air like canister falls
'cause-
and it's like a nuke going off.
'cause
Like,
Bond in this movie is like an actual psychopath. Like he just rampages through that construction
Shoots up an
site.
embassy.
Yeah, he just destroys so much property for no reason.
I think part of it's supposed to be young in this, right?
Yes, yeah.
Isn't yeah? Like
He's like- he's like-
reckless.
He's not even 007 at the beginning of the movie.
he
Yeah.
just
First
becomes
scene
it.
is him,
Remember, that's what they say. Yeah, or the dude
Yeah.
says. I think 2 kills. He said, right?
Yeah, because
That's a badass scene.
he's like, I'd have known if you got promoted to 007 status, it requires like 2 kills, and then he fucking kills his ass, dude. It's
No,
so-
he goes, it requires 2 kills. Yeah. He says it.
Yeah. Dude, going off the first scene, the guy, his name is. Hold on, I have it pulled up. So
Yeah, I didn't remember any
Sebastian
names.
Foucan, however you pronounce his last name. I'm pretty sure he is the founder of free running. Like he's the father of parkour.
Oh, really?
And he's
Oh,
the
you know
guy they put him in the movie to do. He's the bomb maker that he gets iced at the very end of the first scene. But I thought that was so cool that they like put in like the founder of
Yeah.
free running into the movie
Dude.
and just let him do a bunch of free running. He just does all his
Yeah.
own stunts.
They had to kill him. Like they could not let him act at all. They had to get him out of there as soon as the
Get him out
free
of there
running was
quick.
done.
They were just gonna overdub him.
They
VJ
didn't even give him lines.
VJ
I
Emmy was
liked
gonna come in.
How like Sebastian would do all these like cool free running moves to get around, and Bond would just like run through the wall.
Yeah,
he jumps, he ran straight like the
yeah.
Terminator.
It was
He
a
runs through
nice
the wall.
like it was like a nice indicator of his character. I think too. Like it just shows
Yeah.
like his methodology for dealing with a situation like that.
Force.
I kind of agree with Chris a little bit in the way
Right.
that I just don't think I liked it as much as everybody else, specifically because of the ending. I felt like the movie ended like 8 times. It just kept like someone would betray somebody and it would just keep going. And I thought the movie was over at least 4 times.
Welcome to Spy
and
Movies.
and I remember like you know, the poker thing tournament ended and they had the money and they were at dinner. I was like, oh, this is so nice. It's over. They did it. And there's like 40 minutes left after
Yeah.
that. Like, oh
It has
my
a-
god.
Casino Royale does have a secret good ending where you just shut it off with half an hour left and James Bond
Mm.
retires to Italy.
Everything works out perfectly. Yeah.
He's so happy, like he's in love. He's rich. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my thing.
Yeah.
Is like because I do think the movie is a little too long and partially a little disjointed too in like the assembly of it. Because like the beginning part where he's like trying to like where they're trying to like figure out who like Lashif is, like where, because like the whole thing is that he's trying to like short out that airline company by like blowing up their plane. That's like how long do you think that part was of the movie, like give or take?
Probably like the first like 40 minutes, to be honest. I don't think they start playing poker till close to an hour in.
Yeah, and then like I enjoy like obviously that part of the movie serves its purpose. But
It is a little long. I could see that.
but then after it's over, M is just like, okay, so now you're gonna go to a poker tournament.
Well,
Yeah, it
that
felt
is
like a
one
weird
thing.
way to settle that beef.
Yeah.
That is
I
one
get that
thing
one.
that's weird that I feel like it's just like the James Bond trope that was like showing up is like when it's like I completed a mission, call her, get new mission, appear at new mission. Like that was that was just like
And
the
even
James
that,
Bond
like,
thing
it serves
pretty
its
much.
purpose because like Lashif was holding
Yeah.
that tournament to like try and win back like all the money he had just lost, and like
Yeah.
that's obviously like indicative of his character too. Is like how willing he is to just be reckless with other people's money. But again, it kind of felt a little just like, oh, we're suddenly gonna do this now,
yeah, the poker part of the movie for me feels like a completely different movie in comparison to the beginning and the end. Just because it's just so different. Very
I mean,
little action.
it
It's
is
all-
though, so I don't really agree with you on that.
When he
I agree with you, I
loses
mean-
poker the first time, he's like, "All right, I have to kill him." And then it's like, why didn't you just kill him to begin with? Like he's clearly an evil dude with a scar on his eye. Like, I don't know.
she didn't want him to kill him. Remember,
Oh,
like that was the
yeah.
whole thing from the beginning.
Hey,
She's like,
you
"Stop
can't-
killing them."
You can't kill someone because you don't like how they look, Chris. Okay, that's
I
fucked
defer.
up, dude.
I defer.
Yeah, because they wanted him to have no more options, so he would go work with the British people. That was like the whole setup. Because they probably could have just Bond.
They're not-
Like I said, I
Well-
like the poker.
Well, that's one of the interesting points they try to make is like the actual spy work instead of him like just going and killing the guy and being all badass, like trying to set up the political like long game to it more than just taking out big fucking
Yeah, he
whatever
blew up-
guys.
He blew up the entire Ugandan embassy just to get one guy. So, they
Just
have,
kill one guy and get his phone.
Bond has to like tone it back, you know. Like,
Yeah, he has to
Dude,
relax
that
a little bit.
That's like my favorite line from Dame Judi Dench, and like all of the Bond movies that she's in is the very beginning when she's like, "Who the hell does Bond think he is?" Like if this was the '80s, he would have had like the courtesy to defect. Christ, I missed the Cold War. Like immediately, she's just like right into it. Like I love the on-camera chemistry between those two, and she kills
I
it.
think she also calls him a slimy bugger, and I
She
thought that was
does.
really funny. Like, why did they put that in there?
He also says something about shooting the cameraman next time too, and she's just like, "Why don't you just kill yourself next time instead?" Basically.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, I love her in these movies. I just think that her and Daniel Craig like get along really well. Their characters play off each other.
I feel like
Witty
people.
banter.
I feel like people didn't think Daniel Craig was going to be good when this came out, because this is his first one.
What
Yeah,
was he
I feel like-
famous for
I
before
feel like-
this?
But that's how it always is. I feel like every James Bond, they're like, he can't do it. He's not going to
Yeah.
be able to do it, and then they do fine. You know.
feel like
What
this is
did,
what
what
got
did he
him
do
famous,
before?
though.
Because I didn't know.
I don't know.
You know.
I think
I feel like this was his like big.
It was
thing.
definitely, I think, his breakout role. You know what I mean? That made him like super famous.
because I'm also pretty unfamiliar.
Not a super big James Bond guy.
Well-
I don't know why.
Well, that's the thing is like,
Is it-
aside from these newer movies, like I am very, very unfamiliar with like all the old like classic ones. I have like,
I've definitely watched them. You know.
they are.
This is the
tough.
first James Bond movie I've ever watched. So like I don't know. I
Ever?
felt like a lot of Casino Royale. Was, like,
Dude, I feel like this is a good one to start on. I was gonna make the point. Did you know that this is the first book out of all of them? I wanted to bring that up earlier,
Yeah.
like because I don't know if you know their books, but yeah,
when
this is
Ian
the first
Fleming wrote
one.
the novels, this was the first novel that he wrote, and it took him until now to
Make the
it.
movie,
Yeah,
which is
I
why
don't
it's
know.
kind of like also like a reboot for the character too. They went back to the start, you know.
yeah, yeah.
This is when they
also
was
had
doing all the
heard
reboots.
that Ian Fleming hated the character of James Bond, but the book sold really well because he always wanted to kill James Bond off.
He's not supposed to be a
So-
good guy. He's like a dick, you know. Like
yeah.
he's like a super dick, but like he was just cool, so people just gravitated towards him.
He,
He's funny.
he only likes women that are married. I thought that was weird. That they really nailed that home.
that was
he
like a
does not like women
really
that are
specific,
married.
like,
Yeah.
That is a tough line, dude. That is a tough line. You're not my type. And then what she says, like smart or something. And he goes single.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even single, dude. That's crazy. He was her
crazy.
type, or she was his type.
Hey,
Crazy.
Score one
it also
for
is
Bond
unfortunate.
Gotta
Boy.
do what you gotta do.
The sequel to this movie suffered from the writer's strike in 2008.
Oh
And
yeah,
watch Quantum of Solace. It is awful. Like
Yeah.
really, really bad.
I
But you
remember
can
not
see-
liking that one.
You can see the story beats. Like they clearly had a decent outline because the Quantum of Solace is really just the fallout from this movie. And man, if they had better writers, it would have been good. But it is tough to watch, dude.
man, the Craig Bond movies seem to have gotten kind of fucked over by like world phenomenon because like that's you said like the writer's strike and then
It was COVID. for
the last
Bond,
one,
wasn't there?
the pandemic screwed up that one. So.
Yeah, Spectre kind of sucked too. Like these are Bond movies. Like Skyfall and Casino Royale are good, but
I remember
Spectre's-
liking
Spectre's
Skyfall.
the only other one I saw, and I liked it.
rewatch it because I
Right.
liked it when I started, and then I rewatched it like a year ago. I was like, ooh,
I'm
this
I'm
is
blown
not-
I'm
this is
blown
not-
away that he thought Spectre was better than Casino Royale though. Casino Royale.
I didn't say that. That didn't
Taking
happen.
words out of
Oh,
your
well.
mouth.
Check the tapes. Yes,
Well,
Oh,
that's their own-
that Isn't it? Spectre's the only other one I saw, and I liked it.
Well, it
Say
seemed
that?
like Spectre got a
You
way
won.
more positive review than Casino Royale
No,
did.
Yeah, well,
I-
Cole's review matters more to me. All right, than
Okay, fair enough.
Rotten
No,
Tomatoes can go.
I
fuck
like this
itself.
movie. You guys are acting like it's a masterpiece.
Well,
I
we
don't
gotta
It kind of
get.
is. I mean, like it's kind of like one of the top.
Well, let's get
action
into the
movies
nitty
I've
gritty.
seen,
Let's
that's for sure.
let's get in there and talk about it. Got like,
I'm talking about it, dude. I'm trying,
you gotta defend it.
dude. I want to say
Matt
there's,
Mikkelsen is good in every fucking movie that I don't think. I've
dude.
seen
He's one of the best villains like ever in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably one of my favorite like working actors for sure.
I forget what the fuck I was gonna say now. Oh, the ending with like the girl. I like that's like it's a subversion on the fact that like I feel like the girl always betrays him, and this one like makes you think he's gonna get that happy ending where they don't. I mean that I get like what Cole's saying that it goes on forever with like the betrayals, but I think that one works really well. Like I
It
feel
is a
like
bit
that
of
one.
a subversion because usually James Bond is like the player and he's the one like playing everybody and getting like
Yeah.
the angle on everyone, but Vesper kind of manipulates him a little bit, at least at the start, and then she's kind of in too deep.
Yeah, I felt like she
Well,
James Bonded James.
I feel
Bond.
like it's
Yeah.
it's a James Bond thing where where the girlfriend always tries to betray him at some point, or the girl he's like sleeping with. But it's usually like they're trying to kill him. I like that in this one, she was actually trying to protect him when she fucked him
Yeah.
over. Yeah, that's what makes it really. And it's sad. I do think it's sad when she dies in this. Once again, the music is really good.
Dude, I didn't get why did she like kill herself? I couldn't follow
dead
that.
either way. Those people were just going to keep coming for her.
Yeah.
I don't think she wanted James to get killed. I think that was kind of the thing.
That was the point. Yes, that she knew she
Yeah.
was gonna die.
Dude, I will say when Daniel Craig, that scene where he tries to like give her CPR and she dies and he like pulls away from her, dude, like
Yeah.
that scene is so well acted. Like that might be my favorite scene of his. Like I think that's like the best that I've seen of him. But it is tough, dude. Eva Green just drowns to death in an elevator. It's a tough one.
On purpose.
That would make me sad too. On purpose. That is sad to see her just have to like sit there and let herself drown. That's one of the
Yeah.
parts that makes it so sad.
Dude, she's so shocked that he dives in after her, dude. You could see her
Yeah.
reaction underwater. Oh,
Well,
it's
like
crazy.
I said, James Bond is a psychopath in this movie, so like nothing is off.
He's
the table
literally
for
the
him.
Terminator in this
Yeah.
movie. He was a fucking badass. Dude, but then I mean I guess you gotta talk about the poker scene, which is like a lot of this movie. Like we keep calling it just like the scene. It's like at least 1/3 of this movie.
Yeah.
The poker arc.
The poker arc. It's like the whole midpoint. But dude, what did you guys think of that part? I haven't seen that in a long time either. I think it's like one of the most interesting. Once again, though, I don't remember the old Bond movies because I know like the gambling thing is kind of like a trope in it. But I think that's one of the coolest like poker scenes in any movie I've ever seen.
So
Not even just like basing it off of knowledge of the game because I don't know it that well.
see,
But
that's the thing as I wonder because I don't know enough about like poker to be aware of like if they're translating it well to like a movie format because I think so.
dude,
yeah.
wait. I will tell you at the end when he fucking like slowly reveals his card. Bro, in real life, Bond would have just stood up and shot him right there. Because, dude, people take that so fucking serious. If you're like, oh, I lost. And then they just, like, reveal it. Like, nah, dude, they're going to flip the fuck out. That's so, like, because imagine how excited you'd be. You think you just won, like, $300 million. And then he's like, psych.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dude, that would get someone killed 100%.
Yeah. Dude, that scene, I think they do a pretty good job of explaining poker to people who don't know it.
Mhm.
Again, I don't really know poker as well, but like I think having Vesper as a character who doesn't understand poker, so they kind of have like that built-in exposition where Mathis can explain it to her. Like I think that's handled pretty well.
Yeah, I
and
thought it
it's
was
not
good.
like
Well, and it focuses more on the characters playing than the actual
It's
game
more about
itself.
like James
thinking
Bond
of
looking
him.
at his eyes and like him looking at his eyes and like it's more about
He's
like
trying to read
their
him,
facial
yeah.
expressions
They're
and reading
worried
each
about
other
like the
than it is
statistics
about
of
the game.
what the best odds on the cards are they have.
yeah.
They're trying to
Well,
bet off each other.
there's the they have that line on the plane or train over when he's explaining it to Vesper. He's like, you in poker, you don't play your hand, you play the person
play the
sitting across
person.
from you. And that's what
Yeah.
that's what he does the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's what fucking Lashif does to him, dude, and fucks him over. So
But she was playing him the whole time.
yeah.
Well, that's an
Yeah.
interesting one on this too, because like that's like the whole one of the big things in this movie is that Bond, because he's supposed to be like younger, he always thinks he's like one step ahead of everybody. But the whole movie, he just figures like it's him learning that he has no fucking clue what's going on. Like everyone is playing him left and right, and that's why I like at the end too, where like because it's supposed to be him gaining that personality, which I feel like I don't like I said I don't even remember the newer ones that well. I feel like they don't follow through with it as much. Where at the end he's like, "Fuck that bitch!" Like I don't give a fuck about her.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like
very
growing
clearly, like not okay.
and trying to like be cold about it, and it's like
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to set up that personality trait for him. Like that's how he's gonna try to get around it. But once again, I don't remember the next couple movies. So
I mean, Quantum of Solace is Bond coping with that,
yeah,
but it's written so bad.
I remember not liking it, like being super hyped and then not liking it.
It has a better. It pains me to say it's Jack
Better
White
song.
and Alicia Keys. Yeah, it has a better song.
No way,
About it. That's about it. Jack White and Alicia. Dude, I'm telling
dude. Skyfall's a good one,
Well, it's
dude.
good.
And the one, whatever the one after Skyfall is with Sam Smith is also really good.
It's gotta
I
be.
don't-
It's gotta be Skyfall. I mean, come on.
Skyfall's
You know,
fucking good.
Come on.
Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney is a James Bond song.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
name of one of the movies, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I
Like
think
you're
so.
saying it was made for James Bond.
Or James
Yeah.
Bond movie.
I
Dude,
didn't
it's
know
like
that.
it's
That's
like one of the
crazy.
biggest things in the movie is the intro, bro. That's what you go to a
Yeah.
James Bond movie for.
That is, yeah. I don't know if you guys even knew that. I kind of just assumed that every single James Bond movie, except the very first one with Sean Connery, Doctor No, has a song written specifically for the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Doctor No, I didn't know that was the first one.
despite like, because like I've seen, I think I actually have not seen Quantum of Solace, but I've seen I think all the newer ones, and I was aware of that. Like all the songs were made for the movie. I didn't know that about the older ones because I'm like very unfamiliar with those ones.
Yeah, it's fun. There's like a playlist on Spotify with all of them, and it's fun to like go through because a lot of
dude,
songs you hear and you don't.
A
realize.
lot of really good songs too. Like I'm trying to think. I don't know the other movies well enough, but there's a lot of really good ones. That's all you need to know.
Octopussy.
What's the
and
one
it's
for
really fun.
Octopussy? Yeah.
I
Octopus.
don't. Oh no! I was thinking it's Diamonds Are Forever, but that's for the movie Diamonds Are Forever. I don't know what Octopussy is.
I don't know. Yeah, I definitely don't know old James Bond well enough. I wish I did because it seems like a fun. James Bond's like a fun franchise to be into. I feel like with all the fucking lore and craziness in it, because there's a lot of like quirky ass characters in James Bond movies.
You know, come to think of it, I think I actually have like a long time ago. I think Goldfinger, the one where the girl like dies and she's like painted gold. I think
Painted gold, yeah.
I have seen that one. I think.
That's the one where James Bond is strapped to the table and he has like the laser starting at his feet, like
Going to his dick.
slowly going. He clearly designed to give him time to escape. He's like, "You expect me to talk?" And he goes, "No, Monsieur Bond, I expect you to die." They let him go on for like 30 minutes.
Well, it's better that or Mads Mikkelsen smacking Bond in the balls with a rope.
Bro,
Oh,
he says
God.
the most evil thing I've ever heard. He goes,
Ugh.
"Fine, I guess I'll feed you what you don't seem to value." He's gonna cut his balls off and feed them to him, dude. That's so evil.
Oh, that's so fucked up, dude. I forgot about that. Since you
Dude,
just
he
said
was-
that. That was glorious.
He was bluffing. There's no way.
I feel like James. I feel like James Bond liked it though.
That was a really
He's
good
into
scene
it.
though, because like they were both kind of like
He
trying
liked
to.
it.
Yeah, it seemed like it because he just kept asking
Like,
for more.
yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
yes!
he was like, I got a
Yes!
bitch.
yeah, he was like, yeah. I heard it.
That awoken something in Bond that moment.
He hit his prostate.
James Bond trained himself to swallow the whole whip with his butt, dude.
to disarm him and fight back.
The joke's on you, Lashif.
Oh, the
I got a few
turntables.
cards up my butt.
every solution to
Dude,
like
James
a problem
Bond-
is.
I feel like
involving his butt.
a professional spy would be really good at keystering. So, like I feel like that's a necessary trait or
Keystering?
skill. Yeah, you got to be able to keister.
What is that?
It's when you put something up your ass, like hold something in your ass.
I did.
Oh,
You're
Is that what that
keystering. Yeah, it's called keystering. You ever heard that before?
no.
Call it the SAS wallet.
Yeah, working
The
prison
pri-
wallet.
It's the prison wallet, baby.
are
Where else
Kegel,
you gonna keep it?
are Kegels like part of like the 007 training?
They're I mean, they have to be, especially for the female operatives, dude. That's a whole pocket that just needs to be used, dude.
That's like 10 chapters of the first book right there. Is just
Yeah. Is
asshole
the
technique.
technique?
That's in the extended cut.
Yeah, I wish I had like cool like James Bond facts to talk about because that's probably like one of the most fun things with this movie. There's probably a lot more references
Well,
that
that's
I
one
just
of the,
do not get.
That's one of the big like movie theories or whatever is that James Bond is a code
Is
name.
a
and
moniker, yeah.
Yeah, all the movies are in the same universe, but it's just whoever has 007 gets the name James Bond.
Well, I feel like this movie was made with that kind of in mind too, with the beginning and everything. Like you haven't earned that yet. You know, like he was earning that position. Like the guy he killed might have been 007.
I did see that in an interview, Mads Mikkelsen said that Daniel Craig sucks at poker in real life.
Yeah,
He
no,
would destroy him.
no. Mads Mikkelsen was the only one that knew how to play poker, and he said he
Yeah.
was so frustrated because everyone else sucked at the poker. I watched that. That was in like one of those
Cast interviews or whatever.
yeah, they do before
Yeah.
when movies are coming out.
To promote it or whatever.
Yeah, he
said
wasn't
sucked.
acting when he lost. He was like really pissed because he was like,
Yeah.
I freaking destroy this guy.
This guy sucks at poker. Because I guess they really played, you know, like not like in the movie, but
Yeah.
like would play to like create chemistry.
Probably to get like
Oh.
or like some genuine reactions too. I don't know.
Maybe played a few hands just to see how just to get you ready. Dude, that would help you be ready to play poker. Like get the poker face ready.
Plus, if Daniel Craig literally didn't know how to play, I mean, you might as well.
Also, Daniel Craig, or not Daniel Craig, but I mean like James Bond in this movie. It's so funny because like in the beginning he's like, wow, he has such an obvious tell, bro. You played one hand. Like if you ever like based a tell off that, like, bro, you were gonna lose the next hand. Like that guy is, he could just be setting you up exactly like he did. Like that's not how that works.
Hey, yeah, it's part of
What
his
if he
What
was,
was
what if
his
he was
tell?
just
What was his tell?
he went like this or something?
Yeah.
He is scratching his eye or something.
But it was like fake because like he the I keep forgetting the villain's name. He like knew
Lashif.
it was like Lashif.
He was.
He was using it to make James Bond think that was something, right?
I think what happened is
Vesper
is-
too.
that was his
With
legit
Mathis.
tell. And then James Bond told Vesper and Mathis.
Right, yeah.
Mathis was a double agent, so Mathis told Lashif about it,
Mhm.
like between the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Vesper technically
Okay, yeah,
a
that makes
double agent,
more
too?
sense. Yeah, technically, right?
She.
He's
well,
getting
her boy-
blackmailed, but yeah.
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 Her boyfriend got captured. Yeah.
And then she was fucking James Bond anyway.
Well, she was
She was?
working with one of the guys that Lashif owed money to.
Oh,
She was working with Spectre, technically, if you follow it all the way down.
if you
Oh,
watch
yeah.
all the fucking movies, I know that
Yeah.
Spectre is like numero uno.
See, that's what like I think would be. It would be kind of fun to like go all the way through eventually, like someday
Down
to
the
get,
line.
to get through all of the Craig Bond films because I know that like from what I can tell, he himself, like Daniel Craig, got kind of tired of playing this role.
Well,
but,
yeah, he's
like-
getting older, dude, and it's a very physical role.
But I think also just in general, like I think he just got contractually tied into being it and just
Oh yeah,
didn't really want to be it anymore. Because I heard like I think it was Dave Bautista who he was Inspector, right?
Spectre.
Yeah. And he said because they were also in I forget what movie
Glass
it was.
Onion.
Glass Onion.
Glass Onion, and he said that like Daniel Craig's demeanor in Glass Onion was like a 180 from his demeanor and like personality in like the Bond movie. Like he was so much
do you mean by
happier. He was so much happier and like upbeat and like in Glass Onion as opposed to James Bond.
James
so like
Bond.
you could tell that he was getting like really tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, people probably don't want to do that, especially the same role. You definitely get sick of it, and especially a physical ass role like that. Like, who wants to be? He has to stay super in shape, do all those stunts all the time. Like, bro, you're putting your life at risk every time you do it.
One of the major plot
longest
points of...
urban in history, the longest Bond, 16 years.
Damn, really?
17.
I feel like the movies were like
Movies,
more
yeah,
spread
right?
out than like the other ones, right?
That's very true,
COVID
yeah.
contributed to
a little bit of it.
no time to die. Is that what it's
What was the
called?
recent James
Yeah.
Bond movie? When did that come out?
No Time to Die, wasn't it?
2021. It was supposed to come out March 2020. I did not see that one. I had plans
Neither
to
did I.
see it in theaters, and then it came out like the second week of March in 2020. So it got pushed
Delayed.
back like a year and a half.
Wait, what does it go? It's Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall. What's after Skyfall?
Spectre.
Spectre, and then No Time to Die.
Yeah.
So he has 5 movies. That's definitely not the most movies, though. I can tell you that.
No.
There's a couple of them that have a lot.
Yeah, well, I know in Skyfall, like one of the major plot points is James Bond is too old to be a 00 agent, and then they made like 2 more movies after
Yeah.
that.
And then he kept being a 00 agent.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing is like he fails his physical trials in that movie, like, but they let him back in anyway.
Badass.
Dude, he was fat, dude. He's bumming around.
That's the Skyfall.
Yeah.
He ruptured
He's
2
getting overweight.
calves during the filming of Skyfall. Jeez.
I will say that I wanted to bring this up when we were talking about the poker scene specifically. Is the CIA agent Felix? I can't get over his voice in this movie because it sounds like he's doing a voice. He goes, "My friend, bring me that." As well, like he does not sound like he looks.
Well,
at all.
that's that actor Jeffrey Wright. Like that is just his voice because he was Commissioner
Hunger
Gordon.
Games.
Yeah.
I guess he was in the Hunger Games, but he was also
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman movie, and he
Oh,
talks
yeah,
like
that's
this too.
Yeah.
Batman, you gotta.
That's just his shape.
That's his
Does
gimmick.
it look like we need the money? Like it sounds like he's doing a voice like the whole time.
Oh, can I just say
And
also,
he's a
like,
fantastic actor, though.
yeah, he is really good. But is anyone really surprised that America had to come in and save the day?
Like every single
Come on,
time.
dude. It's fucking Britain,
Yeah.
dude. They
Like-
can't do shit without us.
Like it was so predictable. Like I knew like the British couldn't do it. Like Bond couldn't
Yeah.
do it. They needed
just like always.
It's like baby, more handouts. Like it's getting ridiculous.
Dude, that is the biggest thing that sucks about Quantum of Solace is that Felix has a way bigger role in that movie, and it sucks. He's like one of the only good parts about that movie, but like,
But the movie
nobody,
sucks.
yeah, nobody remembers it at all.
I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember it at all. But I remember not liking it. It was like because I remember it was like a big deal.
Yeah,
When it was coming out, like everyone was like, "Dude, this is the sequel to fucking Casino Royale. Casino Royale might have been the best Bond movie," and no one liked it. I don't think a single. That's the one with the weird villain. The villain's like not bad, but like he's a weird guy. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
2 villains, and neither one of them is really that good.
what's the other one? Because there's the guy. He has a weird eye, right, or something.
No, there's the one guy is he owns an oil company, and he tries to like pay off this like South American dictator, and they're both kind of the villain, even though they don't like each other.
But what does he look like?
The South American dictator is like an older guy. He's like in his 50s. You might be thinking of Javier Bardem in
Yeah, Javier Bardem has like an actual.
Is that Skyfall?
yeah.
he has
or
like an
something?
actual like fucked up face in Skyfall.
Yeah, because he was an agent. He like destroyed his face biting like a cyanide capsule, and he has to like put in like an implant. You might be thinking of that.
I might be. I don't fucking remember. If he was blonde, it was him.
Yeah, it's Javier Bardem.
Yeah, okay, that was that one then.
Yeah, the guys in Quantum of Solace just suck. Like they're not. I don't even remember their names, dude.
I clearly don't remember them because I thought it was that guy for some reason.
Yeah, it's like super weird. It's got a couple cool scenes. Like you can see where it was going, but it is not that good. But I don't know. Casino Royale is still far and away my favorite Bond movie.
Is it your favorite Bond intro? Not music, like the like opening cinematic. Because this one's pretty fucking sick, actually.
I think it is. I really
Dude, it's
think it is.
sweet. It looked really good now, even like in like 2006, dude. That's crazy they made that. That probably imagine watching that in theaters. It would have
It's
blew
so
you the fuck away.
It's so like not Bond like it's so like
Well-
when he kills the first guy, it's so rough. He drowns him in a fucking sink. Like
Oh, it's brutal.
that's not what James
Yeah,
Bond does.
I was gonna say like that. I'm
The
glad you said that.
action, like the fighting in this movie, is actually way better too. Like there's like he's choking people out. They like use Krav Maga and shit. This is when they started using like. This is when MMA like came around and shit. They started like actually incorporating that stuff into it.
Yeah, that opening
to make
scene. That
yeah.
opening scene's like a snuff film. Like he's like, if you watched it like
By itself.
removed from like the film,
Bond
you would think
series.
like, oh my, this is a guy just getting murdered. Like,
I mean, Bond is spot on when he's talking to the guy that the like agent guy that he kills. He's like, "Am I contact? How did he die?" And James Bond goes, "Not well." It's like, yeah, that is
Yeah.
that is right.
Yeah, no, he beat the fuck out of him and then drowned him in a
and
fucking
like,
toilet.
and like it, the way it's like composed, like it has like it's like all like the shaky cam and like there's a lot of like low and Dutch angles. Like again, like it, like the whole movie itself is like constructed really well. It's not just like very static, like overly cut. Like
Yeah,
it looks like a movie.
yeah.
How a movie's supposed to look.
They use the like quick jump, like shaky cam well. They use it purposefully. And so many action movies use like shaky cam and quick cuts
Just to make
match
up for
bad choreography.
yeah.
Yeah. And that like actually works. in the
Especially
first one.
because like in like that's the stairwell fight after the Ugandan guys attack
Mhm.
Bond.
When they go to cut the lady's arm off and then don't do it because it was too graphic.
The-
that was the only reason.
Like the motion of it, like it really captured like the motion of them descending the stairs really well, because like they would like tumble down one flight, jump down another, roll down completely, just miss their landing. Like it was like, really well just like paced.
That's where he chokes him out too, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, when he
They
puts him in the
took some
headlock.
death, yeah.
That scene was pretty fucking gruesome too. Actually, they're like a lot of the fights in this are actually just gruesome. Like the first one's definitely the worst, but like he really fucks people up in this movie.
Yeah, dude, like I'm trying to think, even at the end, like when he's chasing Vesper down, like he stabs that guy with like live wire. Like just instantly fries him, dude. Kills that guy with the nail gun. Like none of these are clippy. These
Dude,
are
the
nasty.
nail gun one's crazy, bro. He just shoots him in the eye, bro. That was gruesome.
Like, dude, he doesn't like he explodes that one guy like with the thing. Like none of these.
I
are
was gonna
clean,
say,
dude.
do you think Bond's kill count in this movie is higher with like
I mean, he
power-
killed a lot of people in this
do
one.
you think it's higher with like power tools or like appliances as opposed to like guns?
Actual
Yeah,
weapons,
dude, it's because
probably.
he shoots like two people. Like he shoots like two.
Yeah,
like,
I
nail
couldn't even
gun-
think of him.
Nail gun. Well, he killed the ellipsis guy with a gun, but like he shot the propane tank. Maybe no, wait,
Did he-
no. He knocked that guy over in the construction site, but he latched onto like a rebar with like a something. He didn't die. They showed that Bond didn't just kill that guy.
He didn't kill him.
Fucking,
He just fucked him up.
The ellipsis guy he stabs.
Oh, okay, he stabbed him.
'Cause
Oh,
he-
yeah,
he
you're right,
pulls
yeah.
the knife on him. Yeah, he flips it and stabs him. He just leaves him in the museum too. I forgot about that.
He
just
just
sets
sets
him
him down.
down.
He was taking a nap.
Yeah.
He went to bed.
To be fair, that knife was like that big. He might have lived through that. He might
No,
have
well,
passed.
he would have been mistaken for part of the exhibit, probably.
That's a good point. Until he started smelling.
Yeah,
they were in
he started
France.
stinking the place up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always smells anyway. So.
They were in Miami.
Is that where the exhibit was? Oh, that's right.
That was in
'cause they
Miami.
just drive to the
Bro,
airport.
they were like all over the place in this movie. I don't remember like anywhere.
That was like the
Yeah.
fastest
They were in
flight
Venice at
from
one
like
point.
the Caribbean to the
That was
Miami.
the end, right? Well, they're right next to each other. They're like down
Well,
the
I
street.
know, but like he was able to get a flight. Like
Yeah, they're like right across. Just walk across the bridge, dude.
just swim, dude.
Yeah,
just
dude.
swim.
Take the tunnel.
It's not that far.
I'm not saying like this movie is objectively bad. I'm saying I was very bored throughout the action scenes of the movie. Like maybe that's my personal fault, but I don't care. It was boring.
That's not your. You don't have. It's not your fault for not
You
liking
missed what he
something.
said during
It
the
is
break.
his fault.
Don't let him smooth this over. Okay?
Don't let him smooth it. He was a major
Why should I
hater.
care about action scenes where nothing happens and the characters aren't developed? That is a different movie. That is not
I know.
the
I was not invested in James Bond the character during this movie to give a single fuck about what he was doing
Which action
during.
scene did nothing happen?
No, I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm like, I don't think killing
I
some
also
people and running around and I'm a badass and I'm doing this and this and this. Like to me, that doesn't interest me.
So you don't
Like-
think the parkour looks badass and like the stakes of like the situations they're
Not to
in
the
are
point where
cool?
I would want to watch that.
I mean, like I said, I don't think it's my favorite thing, and like I think sometimes it can rely on it too much. But I don't think
I
it
get
ever was
nothing
like
out of
just
that.
watching nothing.
Fair
It was
enough.
all very cool scenes.
If you don't like action movies, you don't like action movies.
So-
you can't say that the characters are bad in this movie.
No, I'm saying I wasn't invested in James Bond the character in this movie.
Damn.
One thing that I did think was funny is that like a surprising amount of his like good spy work was just getting people's cell phones. Oh shit. Was just getting people's cell phones, and that was just the key to every piece of information he
Yeah,
wanted.
there was no interesting like spy stuff or like, oh, that's interesting. How did he do that? Or like anything like that.
I mean, what
I
did
wish
you
there
want?
was.
Like, I'm confused. What do you mean?
He went to the Bahamas by himself. He wasn't there on orders. Like he followed the trail like by himself from the information that he got from the bomb maker that he killed in the embassy when he shot up that
Yeah,
poor
and remember how he found out about the guy's name with the car when he hurried up and looked through the stuff, got the car.
Even like that. I forgot.
Yeah,
that
what are you talking about? Yeah, that was like one of the coolest scenes, dude.
He schmoozes over the lady at the front desk. and
I
he's
do
like,
think it's a little bullshit. Like when it starts when he wrecks the cars and then all the security just leaves. I'm like, they wouldn't all leave.
Yeah,
they wouldn't all leave. Like
They
that's
all
pretty
had-
lucky. Yeah, they all. He knew all of their cars and just hit them with that car.
they're like the cops in The Dark Knight Rises. Like every
Yeah.
cop goes underground.
Yeah, because at the same time.
with, like the video game cops, you like throw a rock and they're like, "What was that?"
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that scene started a little funny, but yeah, the investigative work he does to figure out, like he just checks the security camera. He sees the mic of the car and he checks the time he got there, so that he can figure it out, and then he figures out he lives right up the street. And then remember, he just like goes there on the beach.
And then he
Like,
fucks
he
that
just
guy's
sw-
wife, dude.
Yeah,
Tell me that
yeah.
wasn't the cool.
Yeah, yeah. Are you telling me you aren't invested in this character? I want this guy to win.
I wouldn't have cared if he lost. That's all. If he died in the end of the movie, I would not have been emotionally changed. I would not have gave a fuck. I don't know.
I will say it is fun at the very beginning of the movie. Like the whole plot, the main thing that the movie revolves around is explained in like a 30-second scene
Yeah.
in a country that we never go back to in the movie.
Dude, they're just all over the place in this fucking movie. I swear to
Where the chief
God.
is like, I will short this stock and double the money. And the Ugandan guy's like, are you sure? And he's like, yes. And then they go away from that. If you miss
Yeah.
that scene, you're so lost the whole movie. Because the first time I saw this, I like wasn't paying attention. I was like, what? Why is Lashif blowing up an airport? Like, what is
Yeah. The plot doesn't. I mean, that's how all James Bond plots are, kind of. It's like, I mean, that's why they make fun of him and everything, like where they
It
do
was
all this
like-
outlandish shit for such little gain.
It was also kind of weird to have like a celebration of like a plane launch in like the middle of the night. And like the setup, like, you know, like the seats and like have like a big deal of it, but it's like in the middle of the night, you know.
Yeah, it is just like a random like Tuesday like 7 p.m. flight out of Miami airport.
That seems like something you'd have in like the afternoon, but
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
you know, another good fucking like little spy scenes was there, like in between the poker game when Vesper and James Bond were like both acting like they were talking about the game, but were really talking about other stuff. Like,
What?
like physically,
that?
they were moving around like they were having an argument or something, but they were talking about the poker game. Do you remember that? Like they're like
No.
sitting there, like yeah, like they're like fake, they like move, like acting out different than what they're saying. You know what I mean?
It's are you talking about when they're like on the balcony and he's asking for
No,
more
they're at
food?
the bar, like right next to the poker game. That's why they're doing that. Like they're
during
yeah.
the 1 hour
they're
break.
talking about the poker game, but
Yeah.
so they don't know,
Yeah.
they're like acting it out like they're flirting or fighting and shit like that. Like
Yeah, he's
it's
like,
actually a
"You
really
should have
cool
entered
scene.
The other door. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because then it ends with her. She's like, "This is me in character, mad at you. It also mirrors my real opinion."
Yeah, that's also how I really feel. I'm also really, because he blew like $5 million. He's like, give me 5 million more. I promise you it's worth it. Like,
Yeah,
I got it this time.
I would have trusted him. Just saying,
dude,
you know?
I also love how real it is that he loses like a couple $1 million and then he just sits there like, like, bro, I do the same fucking thing. I'm fit. I blew more than I'll ever make in my life.
he loses it. He's like, "I gotta go kill somebody."
Yeah.
He kills this guy.
First reaction.
He sits there for literally like 3 minutes just staring at the table,
Yeah,
clearly fuming. Like he's so mad. He
You're
just
you're right.
wants
That is
to-
followed by him killing those two guys.
Yeah.
Dude, because the sheep talks shit to him too at the very like he's like, "You must have thought I was bluffing, dude. You're a rookie." He's like, "No shit, I thought you were bluffing."
Well, like I said, dude, he also, bro, he slow rolled the shit out of him, bro. Like he showed him one card and waited like 5 seconds to show him the other one. That, bro, like you would flip out if someone did that to you.
Dude, yeah, Lashif is just a big dick in this movie. Just gambles other people's money, slow rolls the
He's a
cards,
bitch.
and like, you're actually supposed to press W to move forward. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he said to him.
I was
Shit, I thought they
I was actually kind of disappointed that like Lashif exits the movie as quickly as he does. I get the point that like Lashif finally like gets his comeuppance, but Mr. White is not nearly as interesting as Lashif. I
No.
think so.
Yeah,
He just
Although
he gets his knee blown off like right at the end.
yeah, he does serve the purpose of giving James Bond the one-liner.
No, it is a good one-liner, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
What is his one-liner at the end of this?
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Bond.
He called
James.
Yeah, he calls
Bond.
Mr. White's phone. He's like, "Who is this?" And then he shoots him. It's like the name's Bond, James Bond. And then
Oh,
he-
that's right. He had a setup for James Bond. That's right. Oh shit, that was hard. That was really hard. That was a good end.
And it was, dude, Vesper like is vindicated because she gives him the name and phone number.
I like when he orders the drink at the table.
Yeah.
Shaken, not stir. I don't think he says that, but he says he likes it shaken, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll get that too."
Well,
Yeah,
because
there's-
that was
sounded
something.
yummy.
There's
Well,
two of them. Because the one is he's like, "I need like a whatever," and the guy goes, "Shaken or stirred?" And he goes, "Do I look like I give a damn?" It's like after he loses the money.
Yeah, right
Oh,
after
yeah.
he loses
Yeah.
and he's all pissed off.
But then yeah, he does invent that drink, and everyone's like, "Ooh."
Well,
Yeah, ooh,
he
yeah,
just,
that's the
he
first
made that
time.
up. He made that up just kind of like on the spot. He was like, "Oh, it sounded good."
The sound cool, yeah.
The Vesper.
The Vesper. It's just vodka. Like that's pretty much all it was.
One thing that like lowered the stakes for me watching this movie in 2023 was like I looked up how much money he won in the game, and the best guess I was seeing was like 120 million. So like it kind of presents a choice. You can either have, with 120 million dollars, you can either run an international like crime baking empire, or you can sign Fred Van Vliet to play basketball for your team for 3 years and score 14 points a game for the same amount of money. And it's just like sports contracts are so ridiculous that like this amount of money, it just like means nothing to me now.
I'm
I
so
can't believe
glad
that's what you were going
I'm so
for.
glad
Yeah,
that's
that
where you
story
took
was
that.
great.
That's awesome.
That story was crazy. I was like, "Where's he going with this?"
Who does Fred Van Fleet play for?
The Rockets. The Rockets.
I mean, dude, that's
Oh,
like you're
Houston.
saying that, but that's not like over a year, like a contract. Like that's one hand of poker. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean,
But-
that was
but,
like
like-
enough to get like
The subject
so
of
many governments involved.
the
Dude,
subject
'cause
of
you know how
international
fucking-
espionage.
Infuriating it is to lose $20 on a hand of poker. Could you imagine like $20 million, bro? I would kill myself 100%. I don't care if I had another 20 million. I'm killing myself out of the embarrassment for losing that much money.
Hey, James Bond is having to like resuscitate himself
And he's
after getting
taking
poisoned.
what's funny, he's stealing his girlfriend's money. He's gambling his girlfriend. He's such like a fucking gambler. He's just stealing her money.
Well, he's gambling the Queen's money, so I don't feel too bad about that.
Hey, and the Queen
Yeah,
probably
I
screwed up
agree.
for
Fuck
somebody
the
else.
queen.
Hey, James Bond is having to resuscitate himself
The
in,
queen.
in dire
To resuscitate
moments.
the queen.
Meanwhile, James Van Fleet, he's sleeping soundly, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred.
Fred Van Fleet.
Right.
He's probably cheating on his girlfriend or whatever NBA players do.
Whoa.
Bro, I mean, whoa,
Whoa,
You are
whoa.
like James Bond.
Professional
Like that's
athletes,
not James Bond's
bro,
thing.
professional athletes do not cheat. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Sam.
faithful.
He only sleeps with married women. All right.
Yeah.
And if they do cheat, you have to think, what did the wife do to deserve it? You know,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to
Well, how did
consider that.
did she ask for it? There you
No.
go.
I mean, the guy's name is Fred Van Fleet. She knew what she was getting into.
Yeah, I mean, like that just sounds like a '80s rock band that you with way too many groupies.
So, since James Bond is, this like persisting franchise
Entity.
that has existed since Sam, like 1960.
I don't fucking know.
1960.
I think it literally might be 1960.
Since 1960,
That's crazy.
62.
do you
That's
think,
crazy.
in comparison, because we kind of see it today where a lot of franchises either just can't be let go of or they get brought back for like the millionth time. Do you think that could ever happen to James Bond? Do you think there will
Let it die?
there will ever be a day where James Bond can go
I mean,
away gracefully?
There could definitely be a day, but it's definitely not anytime soon. Like it's gonna come back. Yeah, it's not anytime soon, bro. James Bond's still sticking around hardcore.
Like, aren't they talking about recasting?
Yeah,
him
they're
right
already.
now?
Yeah, they're talking about recasting him right now. That's the thing. James Bond like has good movies, then bad movies, then good movies. It's been like that for a long time. But also it's way bigger in like these movies are fucking huge in like the UK and shit. Like these are their movies, So they're really
I have a
big over
question
there.
for everybody. Who would you like to see cast as the next James Bond?
Dude, I thought Idris Elba was a cool idea, but he's kind of getting old now too.
Yeah. See, I always thought I thought Henry Cavill would have been good when he was younger. But
in
now,
an
I
ideal
think-
world, Sam, yes.
Well, what happens is you got to think about like the character of James Bond, like who would play it, because like he's not Henry Cavill's too much like the nice guy. I feel like,
Dude,
I feel like he's just hard.
John Boyega would be a solid ass James Bond.
Well, he has
I
done
agree.
more like aggressive characters. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of
I
his
don't know.
stuff. I'm trying to think of other actors because you got to think of British actors. I don't care about British people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How about we make James Bond good and make him American?
Dude, how are we?
Come
Yeah,
on, I'm
can we
waiting
please?
for it.
I was like, how are you gonna make James Bond blonde in this movie?
I
forgot
don't
that
know.
was a big
We
deal.
need Jim Bond. All right.
They get super upset if you talk about changing how James Bond looks at all. Like, he has to look the exact same.
Yeah, people got mad about this movie because he was blonde.
He didn't look
I
like
remember
him.
seeing that, yeah.
Yeah, because he's blonde.
James Blonde.
James Blonde, dude.
Bang.
Yeah, it's so weird, especially James Bond. They're so defensive of anything about it.
I mean, it's the same shit we were talking about where, like, everyone's like, he'll never be able to play James Bond. And then he's like...
They
"Yes."
do it. They do it every time. Yeah, like they're like, this
I mean,
one's
that's how
gonna.
the Batman was with...
He's gonna fucking
Robert
suck.
Pattinson.
With Rob Pat.
Oh, I knew Robert Pattinson was gonna be good, dude. He was doing some fucking goofy shit before he came out with that, dude. Some real fun, quirky stuff.
Dude, Rob Pat is British. Could he be?
He
Dude.
could, he could play James Bond.
I
Let him
think
go.
I actually think you probably give him a couple more years to like age up a little more, and he could probably be a really good James Bond.
Age
And,
up a little bit.
Like, because I feel like James Bond's always like older. You know what I mean?
Typically,
I feel like-
maybe.
Daniel Craig was the youngest one they cast.
Yeah. So I'm not, and that he's supposed to be younger in this one. So unless they're gonna make him younger again, but if they're
Yeah.
just gonna like, which I think they shouldn't. I think like it was cool now. Now go like just try to make the like anthology type ones they were making and just have fun with it again.
Yeah, I forgot he's supposed to be like the old, like suave, like experienced guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like the old misogynistic fucking super spy. That's like that's his character, dude. And like I was trying to remember because I learn look like the differences between Casino Royale and the book before. I should have watched it for this, but I'm pretty sure like the ending, like he just like fucks this chick and then leaves her. Like that's like all it is. Like that's in the book. Like he just like doesn't give a fuck. He's like he's always just thinking about getting fucked or getting some pipe, laying some fucking pipe.
Into
Laying
some
it down,
pipe.
dude.
Okay.
He is like the ultimate just like guy character. Like he's just like he's I don't know. Like I remember when GTA was getting criticized for like playing up the male fantasy or whatever. Like that's James Bond. He's just like that dude.
He is that dude.
Kills people, fucks wives. makes money.
Drinks, smokes, beats people up, gambles his girl's money away.
Yeah, not his
Dude,
money.
Yeah.
Is
he's starting to
rich
sound like
somehow.
a Ryan Gosling, literally me character, dude.
Yeah, he's really a Sigma male. Oh my god.
Drinks all the time and gambles.
Or it sounds like the lyrics of like a rap song, like a Future song. Fucking women, fucking married women.
Fucking married
Future
women.
could be James
My-
Bond.
Oh my
bro.
god!
Bro, imagine when Future is James Bond, bro. That would change
That's the
everything.
intro song.
Tony Montana. Tony.
I will give this movie a 10 personally. I enjoy it just
Oh,
that much.
what
It's
the-
not like a
That's
perfect
why.
movie. It's like I think it's really really good. I don't think it's like free of flaws, but
Yeah, I
this is a
mean, no
movie
movie
that
is.
I enjoy every time I watch it. Like through and through. I don't skip it. I don't put on parts. I watch the whole fucking thing a lot. I watch this movie a couple times a year, and I enjoy it every fucking time. There's a reason it was in the infamous top
In the
5.
top 5, the infamous,
Yeah.
the infamous top 5.
It is, yeah, phenomenal movie.
For me, I feel like this movie is like an 8 or like a 9. Like, I really like this movie. I do think it's like amazing. It's not, like I said, it's not my favorite type of movie. It doesn't like blow me away. I don't see many problems with it, like for all the hating going on. Like, I was super invested in it. I definitely could see myself watching it. I don't see it a type of movie like Sam said he watched like 3 or 4 times a year. Like, I'm happy with once a year maybe. Like, I really like it, but I might look up like the poker scene or the intro. But I don't think it's something I want to rewatch. So I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the 8 on this one. I've talked myself into it.
I think this movie is exactly what it sets out to be.
Oh, I'm not putting
Yeah,
anything negative to it. I just don't
yeah,
think it's that for me.
That's where if you don't like James Bond movies, then it's not going to be your thing. But this is a James Bond movie.
I'll start by saying, like, I was surprised with how creative I thought it was. So many things were unexpected. You really had no idea what anyone's motivations were until the very end. Which I guess is kind of a pro and a con, because I really just didn't like the ending, and that kind of brought down the rest of the movie for me, because it was just hard to follow why people were making the decisions they were making. At least for me, I could just be dumb. But I think I would like this movie a lot more if I watched it again, but I only saw it once. So I'm probably just going to give it, I don't know, I guess a 7. But I think it would go higher if I watched it again.
It was an unenthusiastic 7.
Better than
Yeah.
American Sniper. I could
Yeah,
see it
yeah.
turning cold.
If anyone said it's worse than American
Yeah, I
Sniper,
don't-
that's pretty crazy.
I think I gave American Sniper a 6, so I could.
I think
couldn't
we've
touch
since
that number.
revoked that. I think we
All American Sniper ratings don't count.
yeah we were all like fuck that in one of the videos. I don't remember which one. Like take that rating
It's
back.
been like every video since.
Yeah, I'm very glad I saw this movie. Like, it was definitely a fun watch.
I'll build off what Cole said. It's a really fun watch. I'm probably gonna put this at like a 7.5 or 8 if I had to pick. Like everyone else kind of said, I'll echo. It's not perfect by any means, but when I'm looking for a movie with rewatchability, and I think this one has that heavily, I don't necessarily want a perfect movie. And this is one of those movies for me. I could just put it on in the background, watch it whenever. Or also deep dive into it and really pay attention some of the times, and you'll always find a different detail you'll like. I don't know. Good fun watch, kind of like Cole just said.
I mean, look, I don't absolutely hate Casino Royale. I just think some of the slurping,
I mean, look, I just think American
you guys
Sniper
were
is so
doing-
much better.
some of the
Chris,
slurping that you guys were doing
got-
was a little
You got
overblown.
you got
for me.
gaslit into thinking you hated it more than you did.
Yeah, I'm being yeah.
No way. Chris came in hot when he started talking about it.
Dude, really
He
hot.
said he said
cameras
no
were on,
character.
dude.
Yeah, John, when you weren't here, dude, he was a hating machine.
I was just saying that I think some of the action scenes are boring, and you guys were talking about it for like 15 minutes about like, oh, the stairs, and they're rolling down the stairs, and oh, it was
That's a
shot
good
in
scene. What are
different
you
ways.
talking about? That's such an
I don't even
interesting
remember
fight.
the scene because I was bored. But, and I do understand that it's a personal thing that I'm not the biggest action movie fan in the world. But I think it's ridiculous. This movie has an 8 on IMDb, which is fucking ridiculous. This is not an 8.
You're
People
an
want
8,
action,
son of a bitch.
Chris.
And if I had to rate it, I would give it probably like a 5, 5.5,
Wow.
5.5.
Wow, that's
Dude,
crazy.
Chris is gonna watch this podcast back, and he's gonna be just as bored as he was watching
Yeah.
the movie when we're
Yeah.
talking
Wow.
about the action.
It's got a
That's
94%
crazy.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, John, now I really want to watch Old Boy and see what he thinks about it.
John, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, very well made. Little long in the tooth, like damn near 2.5 hours. I don't really think it needed to be that. A little disjointed too in the editing, but overall, yeah, that good, solid movie.
All right,
sure.
from famished to full, how hungry are your hippos on this movie?
Famished,
Shit.
famished, Monsieur Bond.
Dude,
You
they
gotta
did
put
say
You gotta
they said
overlay
months
that
going
meme. No one's
nonstop.
gonna get it.
Famished.
I'm
It's gonna
gonna
be.
look at
What do
this
you mean?
as
It's gonna be in the background the whole time.
Dude, if I had my green screen set up, I would have made that the one.
All right, here is the random wheel.
Oh,
The winner of the wheel
Random.
gets to pick next week's movie. Sam is not
This
on
is
the
the
wheel
best
because he
part.
picked this week's. Let's do it.
Thank you for the pick, Sam. Come on.
Oh, it's looking
Come on.
bullshit.
Come
Let's
on.
go, baby.
It's Nate.
Let's go.
Solidly on Nate. And there we
I think
are.
I know what we're doing,
Come
dude.
on.
I want to do Blade Runner 2049 so bad. I got a lot of movies in the pipe that I want to do, but I want to get this one over with now. It's my favorite movie. We're doing Blade Runner part 2.
Part 2 Blade Runner, baby.
Part 2, baby.
We're running it
Dude,
back.
I
That's
literally,
crazy.
I was scrolling past that. I was like, I'm not gonna watch it because Nate's.
I
gonna
want to
play it.
watch this movie, dude.
I'm so ready.
I actually, dude, I want to, because I've been doing a lot of popular movies. I like some random obscure movies that I think I'm gonna start throwing in there, and it'd be really funny.
Hey,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
Running it back. Round 2, Blade Runner.
let's do this. Let's see if we can get the scores up from the last one. I think we're gonna. I think people will like this one more.
I'm so ready to hate on this movie, dude. You have no idea.
Dude, you didn't even hate on the last one. You completely
know.
took your opinion back at the start
Now
of
that
the
I heard
last
it's
one.
your favorite movie, dude, it's over.
It's getting a fucking 2 out of principle because only possess. What was the one? What got a 1? Airplane mode can have the only 1 out of anything. That's crazy. We did airplane mode. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
far,
I'll
Cole, you got
stand
the
by
lowest
that.
rating.
I enjoyed that movie, dude.
You're insane.
Yeah, Cole, Chris, you gave it a 1 too. You were like the first person to give it a 1.
Dude, I would watch that movie right now. I'd watch it again,
Mhm.
dude, if we all wanted.
That's
to.
like a guilty pleasure movie.
Hell no.
Dude,
you're
I-
all
I-
insane.
It is the perfect. I'm not even watching it, but I kind of want to hear some noise in the background.
No,
Like-
not even that.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
You all need
I
to
don't-
be institutionalized.
I'll start cracking up if I hear some like Logan Paul talking out of his ass in the
I'm
middle.
like, wait a
of,
minute.
dude.
I don't remember what Logan Paul looks like when he jerks off.
Well, I'm
You gotta
also
put that back
assuming
on.
assume
we're
I'm
gonna
talking
get
about
back to memory
drinking
thing.
too. Like
Yeah.
I'm drinking at the same time.
Yeah, I gotta be like, Roy.
Boy, it blitzed out of my mind.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, dude, I can't wait. I'm
Maybe-
so fucking happy, dude. Let's go,
Peace, film friends.
Goodbye.
dude. Get fucked. Why did I turn off my camera?
dude, it's early.